And welcome to the first video edition of Ask the Fat Doctors. Jamie Dukes, Dr. Braxton Cosby, and my lovely wife, Angela Dukes, who's filling in for T. Fox today. It's so good to see you. You look so great.
Well, thank you.
I mean, the love of my life, the rock of our family, and so here, and
do well with this.
I did really well with this, and I know how to do this too.
I'm learning.
It's so funny. We got a great show lined up for you, and joining us today will be Dr. Terrence Fulham. We're going to talk about some things and talk about lifestyle in particular. And when I mean lifestyle, I'm talking about the party, and I'd done my share, forgotten more about it, and also talk about how the detrimental side of what lifestyle brings to the table. Then we're also going to demonstrate today, and Dr. Braxton Cosby is the author, so to speak, of C4. That's what I like to call it. Exercise for men. That's going to be real hot and just a workout
C4.
routine.
Real excited
C4.
about it.
Explosive. Nice. Boom, boom, boom. And we're also going to be joined by Dwayne Clark, who is also one of our head exercise instructors, to kind of work with us as we try to find ways to fight the diseases of excess weight. And then last but not least, we're going to introduce a new segment that I'm really kind of excited about called Just for Men. And it's going to be just for men, but my wife is going to be here to tell us how stupid
we
actually
not
are.
dying anything during
No, hairs go on. There's nothing to die.
I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But obviously, I think we have to start off by talking about the news of the week. And unfortunately, Whitney Houston, she passed unexpectedly. And what was your thought when you read the news? We were together when it happened.
What was my thought when we were here and we actually saw the story?
Mm-hmm.
Shock. Just utter shock.
It's funny because, we were looking at, it was CNN. I got a text message. And I said, hold up. This is saying Whitney Houston did. So my wife immediately went to CNN and turned it on. And where were you?
Well, it was like the day before I saw something on MSN, and it said like Whitney Houston has collapsed, and I was like, I don't see that's not even linked to exactly what happened when they found her. So I don't know who just posted something, and then I didn't even look at the article. I was like, whatever. I just thought it was more propaganda. Then a couple of days later, here we go with this thing, and I'm like, wow. So okay, my wife had actually told me. She said it was here, like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, I didn't, and I went on the internet.
It's like one of those moments you'll never forget what you were doing.
Yeah.
Where you were
and what you were doing. Because we had company, and all of a sudden everybody was just glued to CNN, like shocked. And I think they were initially, leaning towards suicide.
Mm-hmm. Not knowing what the story is.
Not really knowing what the story really was, but I didn't believe that.
I'm kind of torn in a couple of ways because it's very tragic. I mean, there's just no question about it. You go from Michael Jackson, senseless, how that comes about. But something she calls it Angie's Pearl. Mm-hmm. Tell everybody what Angie's Pearl is, and I'll elaborate on one of Angie's Pearls.
When it starts out messy, it's gonna end messy. Messy going in, it's gonna be messy on the way out.
I just think that is so telling about this situation because, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but I mean it kind of angers me a little bit because I understand how talented, and that's what I see, how talented she was, and to let lifestyle, and we're going to be talking to Dr. Terry Fulham about this a little bit, and how many years lifestyle can actually take off of your life. For the lifestyle to end it, Michael Jackson, same thing. It just really bothers me that happened.
I was always with Michael. I was always thinking in my mind, I didn't know how long he would live, and I think I always just kept saying, like, where is he going to go eventually when, like, he walks the street and, like, nobody knows he's Michael Jackson? Because there's going to be that moment where you're just taken out, like nobody really cares anymore.
Well, but he was going to be orange or something.
Well, they wouldn't have known he was him anyway.
I mean, they're always going to know, like, hey, there's a little white Martian. I mean, well, I don't think he's white.
Report of sighting. It's been something that came out of it, but I always just wonder, I said, the day that he would have had that moment where he'd have walked into a store or something, somebody not even knowing it was him, I think that's when he would have just done himself anyway. That's how I felt. And then looking at Whitney and just, I think we kind of all expected something eventually, but I think it would have been that hospital stay, and then it would have been that maybe wake up, turn around, your life moment. Never just.
And I think that
boom.
is where she was at that point where she was turning her life around.
Really?
She was fighting to clean up.
She was.
And I give her that. And I saw her trying. Now, I'm not saying that the effort was fantastic.
Because that's the thing, but we hear this all the time. I mean, because I saw the Diane Sawyer interview and the crack is whack and all of that stuff, and she was trying to do it then as well.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if she was trying back then.
She was
I remember that.
Right. Yeah.
She was trying. She was telling everybody she was trying because she had an album. But I mean, it was just one of those things where I don't know. It's unsettling to me because one thing I know about when you think about all the poverty and strife, and you think about all the folks who don't get a chance, who could use a chance. And her talent, I mean, you can make an argument. It was so funny when I was walking, I remember, because I've been kind of numb to it all and watching some of the CNN coverage, and they played the national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I just on a 9-second bump on the well, it sent a chill through me. The greatest rendition, and Marvin Gaye's was nice. Don't get me wrong.
Right, but everybody recognizes that Whitney's
it was a top 10 single.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you make the
national anthem?
And no one has been
Yeah.
right. Nobody's been able to even come anywhere remotely close to that.
Well, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to actually be joined by Dr. Terry Fulham. And Doc Fulham's going to kind of talk about, because we've seen this happen before. We talked about it the other day. Nick Cannon, a few weeks ago, or now a month or so ago, had some issues because of what I believe is lifestyle. And then we also had Tracy Morgan, who from Saturday Night Live, I believe it is, he passed out because of some issues that he was having as well. So we're going to talk to Dr. Fulham about life, lifestyle and how drinking, partying can actually take years off of your life. Stay tuned to Ask the Fat Doctors. We'll be back right after these messages.
Krista, is that you on the other end of those fingers?
Yes, Mr. King, it is.
You test your blood sugar on those?
I do. I check on these ones right here.
How can you tell when you got it right?
I have my ways.
Test with confidence. Inside every One Touch Ultra Blue test strip is Double Sure technology. It measures each blood sample not once, but twice to confirm the result. So you're not just sure, you're double sure.
That's what I'm talking about.
And welcome back to Ask the Fat Doctors, powered by the Put Up Your Dukes Foundation. I'm Jamie Dukes. This is Dr. Braxton Cosby. And my lovely wife, Angela Dukes, is joining us. So excited on our very first video podcast. Really excited about that. And you can check us out at AskTheFatDoctors.com, or you can also check us out on Facebook at Ask the Fat Doctors, or on Twitter at AskTheFatDocs. Don't want you to miss that as well. You can interact with us in any way you see fit. We've been talking about lifestyle, talking about, unfortunately, the tragedy that was Whitney Houston and what happened to her. And I love Angie's Pearl because it just kind of speaks to that. Messy on the way in, messy on the way out. That's kind of how I say it. And joining us right now is Dr. Terry Fulham from Howard University. And Dr. Fulham, I know you were as shocked as we were when you heard about Whitney Houston's passing.
Yeah, I certainly was. I mean, I'm in her era, so Whitney was someone that I listened to. I remember the first thing I remember was my daughter Kimberly, at age 3 or 4, used to sing all of her songs, and we used to be amazed at the fact that Kimberly loved her so much. But just a fantastic talent, tragic loss. Definitely someone that was lost too soon.
Doc, I want to spring this forward a little bit because, this is Ask the Fat Doctors. And I know with my struggle with obesity, I know that alcohol plays a major factor in just weight gain. And I want to kind of touch on two areas. I want to start with the first area being lifestyle as it pertains to, and when I say lifestyle, I mean party and drinking. Can you talk a little bit about how much life expectancy is taken away because of that hard lifestyle where drugs are involved?
Oh yeah, I mean certainly if you can look at it several different ways. If you look at smoking and drinking and the use of drugs and the lack of sleep, the stress that it puts on your body, it certainly increases your risk of sudden death from overdoses. And then we know the issues with cancer cancer that's associated with smoking and that kind of lifestyle. So, you know, you don't see too many 80, 90-year-old pot-smoking grandmamas who's drinking a whole bunch of alcohol
Medea?
and smoking cigarettes all around. I mean, you just don't see it too often.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, you know, and Angie, I want to ask you, I've never, you know, this is kind of a first for us because, you know, I was a smoker. And what were you thinking? You know, and I smoked when I played. But what were you thinking? I mean, she never. My baby girl told Daddy he had to stop. But what were you thinking?
What do you mean? What was I?
I mean, about me smoking and
I didn't like it. I wouldn't kiss you.
I know that. But other than that, I mean,
I don't know too many people who like to kiss ashtrays. So
exactly, that is exactly what I think I told him once. It smells like an ashtray.
That was another pearl.
Tastes like an ashtray. I can't do it.
And that was the only thought that you had, just in general.
I mean, I didn't think it made a whole lot of sense that you were an athlete and smoking. I mean, that just seemed retarded. Like, really? It just didn't make sense. It wasn't pleasant. But, you know, and I kept him in the basement, in a corner, in a back room. It was like, don't bring it past this point. No other part of the house. And it was like this back corner.
Did you ever project, like, thinking, oh, one day he's going to die of X, Y, or Z because of it? Because I think that's what Jamie kind of going with it. People don't have that.
You know what? Honestly,
that
I didn't
process.
because I think I in my mind, I guess, figured prayer is going to stop it.
Right.
And apparently it did.
It did stop it. I mean, no patch, no nothing.
I never even thought, oh, this could kill him. I was just like, it's going to stop. It's got to. He can only stay in this back corner for, I mean, because I had completely moved him, like, to the back, furthest part of the basement.
Dr. Footman, talk to us a little bit about, from the standpoint of years that lifestyle actually takes away from, to the best of your knowledge.
Well, I mean, I would not be surprised if somewhere between 7 and 10 years of life expectancy were lost just from those. But you know, when I think about that kind of a lifestyle, particularly the really hard partiers, I really think of it like speeding. You know, down, in your car and driving extremely fast. I'm not talking about 70 and 80 miles an hour, but I'm talking about 100, 110 miles an hour. You know, you may do that 100 times and get away with it. Right. You know, 99 times, but that 100th time will do you in, and that very well may have been a type of situation. Although I'm only speculating because I have no information, but you know, on Whitney's death, you know, very, very concerning about the fact that someone who has a drug addiction is allowed exposure to prescription medications and is still drinking alcohol, and you know, that combination can be deadly, and you can do it over and over and over and over again and get away with it. But that one night, you took one pill too many or had one drink too many, and the right circumstance, the right situation, next thing you know, you've passed out or you've stopped breathing and you're alone and nobody's around you to waken you. We see that in high school drinking, where kids pass out from drinking too much and their friends leave them alone, and then they're laying on their back and they vomit and aspirate and die. You know, these sudden death issues, you know, that's the real danger on the short term. So you don't necessarily have to, you know, you can lose all of your life, you know, not just 7 years, 10 years, but if you're fortunate enough to live 25, 30 years of hard living, so to speak, we're going to use those terms, I think that you're going to, by the time you're 60, you're going to look 80. And by the time you're 70,
like Braxton.
65, 70, you're probably done.
Just like Braxton. Hey, Doc, hang on. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, because I want to talk to you about, you know, hold on, player, because there's still a little bit more to this story that we actually haven't got to. And Angie's got a very interesting hold on, player that I'm looking forward to hearing about. And actually, in this conversation about lifestyle, our friend Braxton over here's got something really crazy he's talking about on Hold On Player. So when we come back on Ask Fat Doctors, we'll examine exactly what this crazy guy is talking about. We'll be right back.
I'm Jamie Dukes, retired NFL player and current NFL Network analyst. The diseases of excess weight are taking its toll on the brown community, which includes African Americans, Mexican, Latino, and individuals of Asian descent. That's why the AARP's multicultural outreach is taking the lead to provide you with relevant tools like Cha-Cha-Size. You know, the AARP is more than just discounts. Did you know AARP has cutting-edge programs to help boomers take that first step towards financial freedom? We can help you devise a strategy to manage your money, control your mortgage debt, control consumer debt, and give you the strategy to maintain healthy credit. Boomers, it's time you learn everything the AARP has to offer. Log on to AARP and make that step today.
And welcome back to Ask the Fat Doctor. Jamie Dukes, Dr. Terry Fulham, and my lovely wife Angela is joining us today. And coming up on Ask the Fat Doctor, C4, Cha-Cha-Size for men. You don't want to miss that. Dwayne Clark's going to join us to do a little demonstration. That's coming up in the next segment. And also, we're going to do a little segment at the end of the show called Just for Men. And it's just for why we are just so stupid. That's the only way I can characterize it. That's all coming up in a moment. But now it's time for one of my favorite parts. It's called Hold On Player. This is our segment where we find a little story from the week and we kind of spin it forward because it makes you just want to say, hold on, player. And I'm going to let you, since this is your first time on the show, Angela, give us your hold on player.
My hold on player is definitely Bobby. How do you bring an entourage?
It was his prerogative now. It was his prerogative to bring. The story was he had, what, 3 people?
He had 3 seats.
And Dr. Fulham is with us as well. There were 3 seats that were assigned to him. And Bobby felt it was his prerogative.
But then he had a song, every little chance I take, or it was every little step I take.
Every little step I take. So he took every little step and he got slow walked right out of the funeral.
I wish you'd have saw my wife's face when she was, you know how somebody, their jaw, because at the time she was watching him stand outside the field. At first we thought they didn't let him in.
First we thought they were still trying to decide if they were going to let him in.
I think they were.
I was like, I could just see Bobby now going, whoo, it's cold out here. When are they going to let me in?
You were saying
that we found out.
On the left.
You were saying, Dr. Fulham?
I said, then they had him in the far back of the church on the left where he couldn't be seen or heard.
Well, that
then
was
they wouldn't
because
let him see his daughter. He wanted to see his daughter, and they said, no, we don't think that's a good idea.
But I understand that he was assigned the 3 seats. He came in with an entourage of 9. The front row was available, but it was for family. Sissy, the daughter,
but that
Bobby,
was his
Chris.
Family.
But it was fine for him to sit there, but he sat his entourage there, which pretty much took up the.
But doesn't he have 9 kids or something like that?
I don't know who his brother Tommy. You know Tommy.
I love Tommy. I love them both.
And some sister. I mean, it was just people, bodyguards. Just driver. I mean, just people.
Was Ray Ray there?
And
well, one Ray was there. Well, yeah, but one Ray was there, I'm sure.
And then they had to ask them, like, hold on, player. They did the hold on, player. No, everybody's not sitting here. You're fine, but we're going to find somewhere else for your people.
How come everybody had to leave? Like, why?
Well, okay, so then,
no, you stay though, man. I go.
But that's what they should have done. So then, apparently, Bobby just had to be Bobby. It was his prerogative. So he got upset or offended that they were telling him, hold on, player. All these 9 are going to have to get up. We're going to have to find somewhere else for them. So they kind of shifted part of them someplace else, and then they shifted the other part someplace else. So, again, his prerogative, he wanted to be with his kids, or wanted his kids to be with him. And they did the hold on, player. And finally, he wanted to see the daughter. And they, again, hold on, player. It ain't time for that. If she reaches out to you, apparently that was the agreement.
At 17 or 18, why isn't Dad on speed dial on the cell phone? Why is this the first? Seemed like this was like the first dialogue they had about mommy dying. I mean, come on.
Well,
man.
but I think it has to do with she might have been upset because of the other 6 or 7 brothers that weren't from.
Who, the daughter?
Yeah, those things.
They were her friends.
Well, but those things can happen too. Sometimes, when there's a lot of family dynamics that we don't know about.
It just seems like he was just wrong on so many levels for even thinking that it was just going to be okay, because his people could have easily just sat outside. And even though he was offended and decided he was going to leave, like, to me, that was his time to really just be humble and sit his butt down and just go through the service and let everybody else go outside.
Yeah.
If they couldn't accommodate, they couldn't accommodate.
All right, we got another hold on player, and this is one I actually I'm giving a hold on player to one of the doctors on the show, and Dr. Terry Fulham is also joining us as well. And that goes to Dr. Braxton Cosby. Share with the people, if you would, the story that you're talking about as far as legalized marijuana or something like that.
Yeah, we were having a discussion at work amongst the therapists talking about how in California they've gone that route where if you have a quote unquote diagnosis or disease, and what's crazy is that they have the dispensary right at the end of one building, and then there's a doctor or a pharmacist, whoever it is, who has this door.
Has
and
the
he
papers?
He has the papers. Well, he has this door, and on the door he has the listed diagnosis or something you just have to get this. So then people are already educated, like, okay, so if I have this, I got a little glaucoma or something, so they go and they get a note, and then they come, they get it, and then they just, after they leave him, they go right to the dispensary and just pop out a little
So you
marijuana.
want to spring that forward, because Dr. Fulham, I think you had mentioned that D.C., because you're in the Baltimore, D.C. area, and they're talking about doing what, Dr. Fulham?
Well, the industry may be coming to D.C. as far as the growing of the marijuana and making it available for pharmaceutical use.
We're on the White House lawn. I mean, I've been to Washington. I've been to D.C. There's not a lot of whole place to grow anything, is there?
Now they're gonna grow it on the rooftop.
The rooftop of what? The White House?
No, not the White House. But there have been several investors who have come into the area looking for places and looking for investors. I was actually called and offered, a percentage, or offered to get in that business. I declined, but they're very, very serious.
Oh yeah, because I'm sure Howard University would not.
I said, hold on, player.
Hold on, player.
Might save them some money on the anesthesia though, because then they just go in a little high, just cut, don't even feel it.
But let me ask you this, Doc. It's funny, we were talking earlier about lifestyle and how I see marijuana as a lifestyle problem, because think about the munchies. And you think about one of the residual effects of, now I don't know this from my person, I'm just saying I heard this. I just want to be clear on that. This is something I heard.
All those years in the NFL.
Yeah, I just heard from some other people that, because you smoke marijuana, you get hungry. And so that's not something that's good for somebody who's battling obesity, don't you think, Doc?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think it should be probably not even smoked. I think it really should be brought in the muffin or brownie phase, so that you don't have to have the deleterious effects of the smoking on the lung, or a pill form for those who are using it.
That wouldn't be fun for those folks. I'm sure the pill is just not what they're looking for, Doc.
No, I agree. But those are those who, the same people who, take extra Percocets and extra Tylenol, number 3s and codeines. I'm talking about someone who actually has multiple sclerosis or glaucoma, or has to have chemotherapy, and the pharmaceutical effects of marijuana are very, very good. The fact that it takes away your nausea, it actually gives you a little bit of euphoria, makes you feel better if you're someone who has a cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy, which basically wipes you out and makes you feel horrible. I think that using marijuana for that type of a situation is a good thing.
So never before surgery, then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, never before surgery. I don't think the surgeon should soak up before he goes into the operating room.
Isn't it also an appetite stimulant for some of the folks, like say the cancer patients who are getting the chemotherapy and they're losing a lot of weight? If you give them a little marijuana, then they want to eat to put some weight on?
Yes.
Wow.
I think what they're going to start having is start having these hookahs in the chemotherapy unit.
Mm-hmm.
What's a hookah?
So
It's not the yucca. It's not the plant.
Well, I
saw one of those. Is that marijuana? Is that what those?
A hookah is the pipe where you have many stems. You can have like 6 people who can smoke at the same time.
Okay, but wait a minute. I saw one at a restaurant. Restaurant here at Twist.
Yes.
At Twist. And they were outside. I didn't know what they were inhaling.
Yeah, well, they were probably inhaling tobacco, but
yeah, surely you could be. Yeah.
But I heard somebody say it was a hookah, but I didn't know what it was like. What are they doing with it?
Yeah, they got hookah all right with the cufflinks, and they'd have been smoking weed. But
who knows what they were?
They wouldn't be in a public place.
But what are they getting out of that? What's coming out of the hookah?
Well, it's probably tobacco, most likely.
Yeah.
If it's done in public.
So like regular. So instead of just holding a cigarette.
Where it's legal, like, you can go to Amsterdam and you can go to a bar and you get a menu that has all the different types of, marijuana and hashish and all those things, and you can order what you want and they'll bring it to the table and you can smoke it right there in public. So
anything goes in Europe.
Wow.
So Doc, you were over in Europe for the summer. Was that part of they have a hookah on the cruise that you were on when you were in Europe?
No, they didn't have it.
Oh, okay. Just a second. Well, Doc, we appreciate you joining as always. We'll catch up to you next week. And coming up next, time for a little, you're going to get up and we're going to do a little C4, Cha-Cha Size for Men. Going to introduce to you, because the guys, a lot of times people think we're forgotten. Dr. Braxton Cosby, going to be joined by Dwayne Clark, and we're going to talk about Cha-Cha Size for Men, give you a little preview of exactly what that's all about. That's at Ask the Fat Doctors. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
As a retired NFL lineman, I found myself fighting the same battles as many of you against the diseases of excess weight.
That is why we're excited about Ask the Fat Doctors. This show is fun, and we're going to keep it real as we chit-chat and answer your questions about excess weight. The diseases of excess weight affect us all. Did you know diseases like sleep apnea, various forms of cancer, type 2 diabetes, and other comorbidities have claimed lives, or they have taken a toll on many of our famous athletes and entertainers?
And that's why we've assembled some of the best minds in fitness and medicine to guide you to being the best you.
Speaking of the best me, Doc, I was a biscuit over 400 pounds, had bariatric surgery, and I dropped 120 pounds. But what I'm trying to get at is, where do I buy one of those? I just want to get one of those.
One step at a time, Jamie. One step at a time, big boy.
Now, Doc, I took a little time off. I'm back in the gym now, getting my sexy back.
Okay.
But I'm a little concerned about my sisters who are getting a little junk in their trunk.
And T, that's why we're going to make sure that spare tire doesn't go in the trunk and that six-pack doesn't turn into a keg.
No, I'm just trying to figure out, why would you be looking at me?
I wasn't directly
looking. I was saying to you, I'm working my way.
I was really looking through
I'm
you
trying
to get to T. I was trying to talk to
and so
T.
now you want to just,
All right, okay, all right, guys. So be sure to check us out at Ask the Fat Doctors, where we're going to keep it real in the fight against the diseases of excess weight. Check us out at AskTheFatDoctors.com. Download our weekly podcast and tell a friend. We will answer your questions and hopefully we'll raise more in the process.
He was looking at me.
Jamie,
He was looking
that's
right
two
at me when he said it, and he
different
pointed
things.
at my stomach, too.
Welcome back to Ask the Fat Doctors. Dr. Braxton Cosby, Dwayne Clark, and myself, Jamie Dukes. And we're going to introduce to you Cha-Cha Size for Men. I like to call it C4. And Doc, talk to us a little bit about music and working out.
Well, there's a lot of benefits to music and working out, Jamie, and that's the new thing now. Everybody's doing a lot of the samba and the dance and all that other stuff. But there's actually science
I think that was
behind
Zumba.
It's Zumba and
Yeah, I
samba.
think it was, okay.
I got a little tired, so I call it samba. But my thing is, this is evidence-based practice now. People are talking about the benefits. It prepares the brain, actually prepares the body for timing. And timing is key to everything. But in exercise, it's really good to get the rhythm of an activity. You can actually learn faster. You can learn the task much faster. It also helps with the timing of your heart rate. Your blood rate gets circulation. Your heart rate and your respiratory rate gets the blood circulating in your body. So a lot of the benefits of actually exercising to music has been incorporated in daily exercise now. So that's what we've done with C4. We want to give this to the men. This is explosive exercises.
And the ladies, you can do it too. Don't get me wrong. But we wanted to create something that the fellas could do.
Because the guys have to wrap their arms around something and get involved. And we talked about the importance of men being part of a team, fellowshipping, having something they can actually get involved in, and not just thinking that the exercise and the dance has and all that just for ladies, but the men can get involved too so they can get an opportunity to really get their exercise on as well.
Well, let's talk about getting our exercise on. What's the first thing we're going to do?
Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to be working with the bicep
Okay.
during this segment. And what we're going to be doing is the bicep exercise, just going to be a basic curl, but we're going to do it 3 different ways.
Okay.
We talked about ICE last time.
ICE,
It's the acronym.
ICE, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not him, but the acronym we were using, okay? And first one's going to be isometric.
Okay.
We're going to do isometric contraction. That just means we're going to hold it right here
Okay.
for a certain amount of seconds.
Right.
Then we're going to also go into the C, which is the concentric.
Okay.
Which means we give a 4-second count
4 seconds.
on doing
Up.
closing the joint.
And then-
Okay, closing the elbow joint. And then the eccentric, which is the last piece of
Okay.
ice, and that's going to be a 4-second going back down.
All
Okay,
right.
so we're going to incorporate isometric, concentric, and eccentric into the exercise.
All right, let's do it.
today.
All right.
All right. So what we're doing, we got the beat in the background.
Right.
We're going to get right into this. We're going to start off with the isometric. I'm going to give you guys the count, and we're
Okay.
going to do it. We'll put our arms right here,
All right.
and we're going to hold, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the first thing we're going to do, we're getting the body moving as well.
Okay.
We're going to lean to the left and hold
Right.
it on the left. Okay?
All right. All
And
right.
hold it on the right.
All right.
And hold it right there. We're
Okay.
getting the legs involved. We're getting the core involved. And we're going to go back to the center.
Okay. And I feel that
5,
burning in my
4.
arms too. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the isometric right there, okay? And now we're going to give it a little twist. So now we're getting the obliques going.
Okay.
Got the trunk here. We're getting all those receptors into the feet. So we're getting our legs all the way up from head to toe workout here. And
Okay.
all we're doing is isometric bicep.
Okay.
Now the next one we're going to do,
All right.
we're going to go ahead and kick it into the concentric, okay?
All right.
So we got a 4-second count on this one, remember. So we're going to start down,
All right.
and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and down, 2, 3, and up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down, 2, 3, and up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down, 2, 3, and up, and keep going. What I'm going to show right here is that with the timing of everything, what you're really doing is focusing on that up motion, okay? You're really getting that bicep to fire and bring that weight up. You can go down as fast as you like, but we're really making sure that we activate every fiber in our bicep to go up on the right count. And when they're doing it to the music, we still got the bounce going. So we're still getting strengthened all the way down through the legs. Now we're going to kick it into eccentric, okay? All right. So we're starting up.
Okay.
And we're going to go on the 4-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. And let me tell you why eccentric contractions are important. It's the lowering part of the weight. The muscle actually has to fire a bunch of fibers to bring and elongate that muscle all the way through the range. So you start at the shortest point by having the weight up. And when it goes down, you're slowly controlling that weight to come down with the weight that you have against gravity. Okay, so keep on going down. All right, now what we're going to do, Jim, is on the video when we actually have the chart the size for men, we're going to always add in a body blast.
Okay.
So C4, we got the body blast.
Right. Right.
So what we're going to do is we'll always continue to work that muscle that we're working on, which is the bicep in this point, but we're actually going to add in the legs.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to do is go ahead and put your right foot out in front, hold the weight here. We're going to do about 5 of these, and then we're going to switch legs, okay? So when we come up this time, we're going to contract those biceps and bring the knee up at the same time, okay?
Okay.
So there we go. Give a good practice.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get it going.
All right.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, and blast, and down, and blast, and down, and blast, and down, and blast, and down, and blast, and down. One more, and blast, and down. Let's switch it up.
All right.
So we're still working to the beat. Get the little bounce going. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and blast, and down, and blast, and down, and blast, and down, and blast, and down, and blast, and down. One more for the road, and blast, and down. So we'll always do it that way. We'll have 2 sets. We'll do exactly what we did the first time. We'll do the body blast, and then we'll come back to it and hit it again.
Wow. I like that.
I feel my heart rate.
I do.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you can tell that it's amazing how the music and trying to hit the beats and the difference that you feel in the music, and it makes clearly a big difference.
Because we're focusing on technique. A lot of people go in the gym and they'll just slap around with the weights, but the music really helps you to keep in line and get everything firing at the right rate.
All right. Well, that you have a little sample of C4. That's right, chart your size from him. When we come back, a segment that I absolutely love. It's a new segment. It's called Just for Men. And I don't mean for the follically challenged such as myself
Right.
and the other guy over on the other end over there. It's about why we're just knuckleheads. Stay tuned.
The outside world thinks weight loss surgery is a quick fix. So not true. It's a commitment. It's time to draw the line. Get to a healthier weight, then maintain it. That's where the Realize solution comes in.
Only the Realize solution combines weight loss surgery with an online support program doctors and behaviorists helped create.
When I want help with eating well, Realize is there. Exercise, it's there. Guidance from my doctor, it's there. I built healthy habits and stayed on track.
Only the Realize solution gives you support to help you achieve and maintain. Call 1-866-300-1818 now to get your free information kit. Bariatric surgery may not be right for individuals with certain digestive tract conditions. All surgery presents risks. Weight, age, and medical history determine your specific risks. Ask your doctor if bariatric surgery is right for you. Call 1-866-300-1818 for more information and your free kit.
Achieve and maintain your healthier weight. Finally, a real solution. It's time to draw the line.
Welcome back to Ask the Fat Doctor. I'm still a little bit sore from our C4 episode, but it's going to be exciting, and we want you to stay tuned. We're going to continue to develop our Cha-Cha size for men routine for the guys. And Dr. Braxton Cosby's here. Dwayne Clark is here, along with my lovely wife, Angela. And this is a new segment that we are introducing called Just for Men. And the reason it's just for men is, and we wanted a lovely young lady to be here to talk about it, is because for whatever reason, we as men are stupid. We won't go to the doctor. We won't do what we're supposed to do. And mind you, I know Brax does because he's a doctor and all that. But by and large, why is it that as guys, we just won't do what we're supposed to do?
I think a lot of times it's a control issue, and we just feel like we can manage things. And, you know, in a few days, after 3 days, I have a 3-day rule. If it isn't going by 3 days, you know, then I may need to go see somebody. But until then, you know,
yeah, but I know guys that if it ain't gone by 3 years, and that has been, I mean,
he did that for a while on that car you had to check in and like, is it going? What's going on?
Oh,
like, man, it's been for 3 years. You know, I was like, come on, man, I'm in your car. You know, check engine means we need to check the engine. He's like, I just figured if it started, it's okay. So he gives
Tell us some of the stress. Angie did some great things, especially when I was really battling obesity. And talk about some of the things that we did and some of the ideas that you had about helping me do better about going to the doctor and those kind of things.
Well, you're referring to just me scheduling the appointment, and we went together. I just signed us both up to have the same. What was it? A family
physical,
what do they call them?
Like that.
Yeah, well,
just general, you know.
Yeah, that general practitioner. So I would schedule the appointment for the same day, and we would just go together. And he would be on one side, and I would be on my side, and we would meet in the middle and
have lunch,
talk about our results and weight, and go have lunch.
Well, and then she used to make me sick because of her blood pressure because, you know, and I'm not saying no, it's beyond perfect. I'm not saying that she doesn't work out as much as I do and condition and cardio and all that stuff as much as I do. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that, you know, for whatever reason, and well, it's genetic predisposition, we go to the doctor when she was pregnant. And, you know, that's when everything goes hooky-pooky. Her blood pressure was like 109 over 67. And I'm sitting there saying, man, I want to kick her right in the head. Because, I mean, she just had, you know, God-given. But, you know, it's one thing that, you know, the reason we bring this up is because I just think we have to do better. And I think we've got to impress upon other men because we're the ones who are dying. You know, women will go to the hospital. They'll go to the doctor if something's wrong after a few days or to your rule, that 3-day rule.
Right.
But I mean, I just think we've just got to do a better job.
And I see that in my practice working in geriatrics. There's not a lot of older men in the nursing home. You know, we got a bunch of ladies there. So either one or two things have happened. Either one, we don't even make it that long enough to get to the nursing home for help because maybe we just died at the hospital or we didn't even get to the hospital in the first place. Or the women are actually they're still alive. They're still taking care of themselves. They're still getting there in time so they can actually get to the rehab and still go home. So it does speak to how men are just dying off a lot earlier than women are.
I think one of the things we probably need to do is just dispose some of those myths that women typically are more in tune with their bodies, and men, we can be just as in tune, but we just have to work at it and practice at it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think is so important, and that's why I'm excited about to go back to Cha-Cha Size for Men, or C4, is because in addition to the workout routine, what I hope it'll be, well, it will present an opportunity as a learning opportunity.
That's right.
For guys to understand these are the things. Doc, talk about the 3 things that guys should know. Those 3 numbers we talk about all the time. Know your numbers. What are those numbers that guys should know?
We talk about your cholesterol should be under 200 total. We talk about your blood pressure. Now they're kind of in between the 130 to 140 over 80 to 90, and then also your blood sugar. Fasting levels, you should be anywhere 110 and below. So those 3 things are critical because they all play in tune together with your overall fitness and your health.
And to put a button on all this, my lovely wife has a wonderful suggestion about a segment we should do.
I love this idea.
Yeah, this isn't actually a very, not that she doesn't have good ideas all the time. What's the idea? We're gonna put this on the Ask the Fat Doctor's website so you can see it.
This new segment we're going to call Fat Ways.
Fat Ways. And what exactly is Fat Ways?
Well, Fat Ways to me.
Well, hang on. It's your idea, so it's supposed to be to you.
Well,
of course it's going to be to you.
Like, for example, when someone is struggling with obesity, a fat way, like, I don't want to see someone struggling with obesity eating a bag of potato chips, like the whole bag.
So what you want them to do?
That's a fat way. That's what you do.
That's how you got fat. So in other words, you should take a napkin or a paper plate or something and
paper towel and get a handful and just put it there and then eat it. But don't hold the whole bag. That's like
you set yourself up to finish the bag.
You're going to, because that's how you got fat. And so now you're still struggling, but you got this bag of potato chips, and you're just like, okay, with just eating this big, ginormous bag of chips.
I'll only eat one
more. Just all out of the bag.
Or I like the other fat way we were talking about earlier, eating the ice cream right out of the carton.
The ice cream out of the carton.
Rather than just taking a little cup or a bowl
something
or something
small,
like that.
Getting it, because you really kind of want to just taste, and that's really, honestly, that's
you're
all
gonna
you need
indulge.
to taste it. Right.
If you have it available, you're going to indulge.
And one of the other things that we could add to the fat ways is something you talked about a couple of weeks ago, and that was, we were talking about portion size. And not so much portion size, but not going back for seconds.
Seconds is a huge thing to me. I think people can really cut off so many extra calories by deciding that, hey, when I get this one plate, I don't even care if it's a triple decker. Do not go back. Get out of the bad habit.
That is a fat way. That is a fat way.
And then I see people every night, and they'll think they're playing off. They'll go back to the pot, and they'll just take one little thing, and then take one little, and it turns into a second.
That
and it turns into a third.
Fat way.
I say put it all on one haul. I would take it that way, but don't go back for seconds.
Don't go back for seconds. And I think too. I mean, the serving spoon size. I mean, I think a serving spoon size is about what, like this size of your hand. That's really like enough. But this one, he will do the fat way thing, and we'll do it like.
So do we have like a fat way monitor that should like go like beep beep beep?
Yeah, you know what? No.
Shot collar or something.
No. The fat way monitor is called consumption. That's her little thing.
That comes. Okay. So she does that one. Okay.
So that's every time you say something. Every time you get a little close to doing too much. Consumption.
So that's the key word there for you.
That's it.
I mean, I got smaller plates.
Yep.
That's awesome. Though.
I mean, I always like to eat off of them, but small plates. But
I've gone from 4 pieces of chicken.
I mean, let me tell you how bad I am. Okay, so I eat oatmeal.
True.
I got a little small because I found that some mornings I would like make more than I knew I could really. And that's another thing. I don't like to waste. I don't like to overcook and throw it away. So I just cook what I know I can eat.
Oh, okay.
So I got a smaller little pot for my little oatmeal.
Now, do you do the instant, or is this the from
the
scratch?
Old-fashioned, just
because that makes a difference.
Scoop of oatmeal.
She's a great chef.
That's one thing I can cook very well. And I'll just take like my little measuring cup, scoop it out.
That's it?
Like,
I'm just
and
not. I'm
it's
just not
a little
oatmeal person.
small.
I
Like, how much?
gotta have protein.
I got to bring you some of my oatmeal one day.
I just gotta have protein.
He won't even try my oatmeal. Wait a minute, what's your
Well,
oatmeal
I
got to my oatmeal?
we're gonna have we have a
Oatmeal
we're gonna put it
cook-off.
right here.
Right here.
Two bowls
I'll bring a little cook plate down.
Big Jay's not gonna know who made it, and we're gonna try to break it because he's got to get some oatmeal. You talking about your cholesterol lowering? You talk about being a little bit more full. You're getting in your protein, your fiber. I think we need to do it.
I love it.
It ain't gonna get him in trouble. It's gonna make you better.
I just love it. I cook mine with. Do you use rice milk or do you use what kind of milk?
I use almond milk.
You
milk.
use fruit.
Be sure to check us out next week. Remember, you can check us out at AskTheFatDoctors@AskTheFatDoctors.com or Ask the Fat Docs on Twitter or Ask the Fat Doctors on Facebook.
Very good.
So we want you to continue to join us as we talk about oatmeal.
He's trying to get out of this.
I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
We appreciate you joining us.
He said that I'm not going to
Ask the Fat Doctors because I don't want to hear nothing they have to say
about
the
oatmeal.
We want to talk about some eggs. Holla.
We'll put some eggs in the oatmeal.
Are you having trouble keeping your students focused throughout the day? Well, we have the perfect kinetic learning solution for you. It's Chatricize ABC. Studies show that introducing a 10-minute activity into the daily routine of students will enhance their cognitive learning. The Chatricize Academic Burst Curriculum was designed to engage students and provide a kinetic burst to promote increased learning. Now, the Chatricize ABC is also a great way to increase weekly physical fitness activity for the students. Daily utilization will maximize effectiveness, but frequency is left to the teacher's discretion. Implementation is easy, and the recommended Chatricize ABC activity should be at a minimum about a 10-minute event. Chatricize ABC consists of a warm-up module, which is approximately 2 minutes, and the teacher has the option to choose 2 individual Chatricize activity modules, which range from 4 to 5 minutes. To keep the students on their toes, we have a constantly evolving library of fun Chatricize ABC modules. Chatricize ABC is the most cost-effective kinetic learning solution in academia today, as the cost per student is less than $4 per year. That is right. You heard it right. Increase students' academic performance for less than $4 per year. Chatricize ABC is accessible via DVD or cloud environment, and to get started, all you have to do is simply log on to chatricizeabc.com. That's ChaChersizeabc.com.